Hello guys, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Alright guys, just amazing day. This is what I talked about yesterday, day before that. This week there's going to be some huge earnings. We didn't get a lot of follow through on Tuesday, Wednesday were kind of slow days, but today was just we blew it out of the park. That's why preparation matters. If you've been watching and learning from what I teach every day and what I show every day. I even tweeted out my game plan today. So if you followed the game plan, you did really good. Anyways, we will recap. We had one loser as well. We will recap our winners and losers before we start. Just a quick disclaimer: everything I discuss here is just for educational purpose only. Nothing is financial advice. So before we start, let's do a quick introduction. Quick introduction for anybody who's new to our X accounts, new to my YouTube, or new to our community. We trade a repeatable trading system in the stock market. The repeatable trading system called Ripster EMA Cloud System. The system just doesn't only consist of my indicator suite, which by the way, TradingView is doing a sale. You should try to get that. So the system consists of all the teachings, not only the Ripster EMA Cloud System, but all the teachings that I teach, be it a day trading, investing, or swing trading. So system is how you trade, setup is what you trade. System is how you trade, setup is what you trade. Now, how do you find the setups? Setups you find with the planning, right? You use pre-market planning, weekend planning, weekday planning, whatever you do, you have to plan, right? By the way, there's a webinar tomorrow. Make sure you join that webinar, Benzinga webinar. I'll go through our pre-market, how we find these plays. Anyways, every morning, me and my team, 1 hour before the market open, we create a game plan. I'm live on the screen creating this game plan for my traders, how we are going to trade each ticker that's based upon the news. I usually highlight any important tickers in red that I'm watching so the traders know these are my main focus. We do split our plays as a news play, earning plays, index stocks, or upgrades or downgrades. And we have initial support resistance, and we have this game plan, which we will go through as we go through each setup today. So in addition to that, we also have something called day 2, day 3 setups. So our day 2, day 3 setups are so day 2, day 3 setup is another strategy that I have been trading for a long time, and I've been teaching this strategy. I did a free webinar on this strategy. I teach you guys every day on the strategy. Today we will talk about MDB, which was a huge trade on our day 2 strategy. We'll discuss that. Apart from this, we also trade crypto stocks. We provide this crypto planning in the pre-market as well on a day where the Bitcoin is running or the crypto stocks are running. So we have this crypto planning which we provide to our community members as well in the pre-market. I did tweet out the game plan today, so many of my followers they traded pretty well on the game plan. So we do trade futures as well. Well, you don't have to trade SPY QQQ futures every day. You watch my playlist and you will learn when to play these setups. But I did a futures webinar as well, a free webinar with everyone. We use Ripster Clouds to trade it. We provide all these levels, future levels in the pre-market for the traders to use and trade. We also provide levels for SPY QQQ, Mag 7, indices, ETFs, Apple, Microsoft, so traders can trade those levels on their own. Of course, not every day. You need a trend day. Tesla was pretty good. We will talk about that. Tesla was a nice short today, so we'll talk about Tesla as well. In addition to that, we also trade low floats. We trade IPOs. We have a lot of tools in our community. We have 3-4 stock scanners. We have options flow tools. We have halt alerts. We have order flow. We have breaking news alerts, clocks. We have tools over $500-600 a month, which are freely available to our community members. We are one of the largest trading communities online, educational-based trading community, which trades on a system, not randomly, not an alert service, not a signal service, where my main goal is to make everybody a consistent trader, system traders, not just spoon feed them, and showing them how the setup works, how the system works. I'm on the voice first few hours of the market open with the screen share, showing the traders which trades to take, which not to take, where to buy, where to sell, and the right system to follow the system, and make sure keep my traders accountable. I'm making sure that nobody's taking a risky setup, nobody's breaking the rules. That's why I stay on the voice and helping the traders achieve their goals. Anyways, that was a quick introduction about the community and about us. So now let's start with the recaps. All right, so let's start with snow first. So let's take a look here. So I did tweet out that we are long on snow as well. So let's take a look at as a pre-market plan. Let's see what was our plan on snow. So snow, beat EPS, revenue beat, so really good. Not only that, snow had a lot of upgrades. We'll talk more about that in the tomorrow's webinar. Everybody was coming in upgrading snow. So not going to go into the fundamentals, but snow is amazing long-term stock. We all know that. But anyways, I was watching initially, it pulled back. So it looked like it's a gap and crap. What was the game plan? The game plan on snow was pretty simple. The game plan on snow was gap and crap under 224, long over the pre-market highs or 512 curls. 512 curls. So look that carefully. So what happened here? So you see that this is called an amateur move. The candle first pulled down, but it never closed red or never closed under that 224 level. When it started to curl here, that's when I noticed, and it was a trend move. You see this candle right here when it started. That's where you take it long. Put your stops at 226. Look what I said here. Put your stops 226, breakout over the pre-market highs, and there's you take a long. If you're taking 100 shares, you're risking $200, and you made almost $1,000 because it ran to 240 if you had 100 shares. Now we were long. 235 was our first target. We hit our 235 target. Our next target was 240. We sold 60% on that pop to 238. Then our 240 target almost hit. We almost hit that right here. You hit that, our 240 target hit. Then it started to pull back. We had a big run, big push, and then we got out. But this is one of the concepts that I often teach everyone, that reclaim of 512 is even more bullish. You take it long right here. I was on the voice. I told the traders, I actually missed it because I was away. But when I saw it, I told the traders that you should be long. And my traders are already long. I'll show you that. So the stops were this time at the lows of the previous candle at 235. You're longing here at 237, another $2. And this time we went to 250. So when we had this curl, I gave them the stops of, this below the candle. I told the traders that now we are going for 245, 246 because it's a multi-year level. You always go to your daily charts, weekly charts. This is my weekly chart right here. So I go to my weekly chart. I always look where was the last high, and I could see that it was from 222 and it was 245, 246. That's how we find those levels of resistance. That's how we find those targets. And we are getting this breakout over the high of the day. So you do not get out. You hold as long as 512 Ripster key EMA Cloud hold. You do not cut. You hold. That's why I tell my trader. And I told the traders when we hit 250, I told the traders get out of the most versus 250. You can buy the lotos on pullback, but once we break the 512, you exit everything, and it was done for the day. So you can see that the 250 is such a big level, psychological level, and right at 249.99, that was the high of the day. So that is so important, so many important concepts here. 512 reclaims, pre-market high breakouts, 512 flush and reclaim bullish. 512 curls were here, 512 reclaim bullish, and 250 psychological level. Of course, gap and go setup, weekly levels. So many things that you can learn through this one trade. And if you want to know about how the trades worked out, you literally had to if you're option trader, you just literally had to hold your options. If you're shares trader, you had to sell 50%, 30%, 20% on the way like that. But anyways, talking about the options, 245 in the morning, if you went from 30 cents all the way to $2, 400%, and in the middle of the day, went from $1 to $7, that was like a 600% gain. Most of my traders, they wrapped up like weeks worth of profit in snow. It was just such a good trade. I told the traders to not to pike, that to hold. So a lot of traders were, see, Anand did not pike, he hold it. Explorer got 200%. Tony did really good on snow. and Chody made 100% on Snow. It was just a beautiful trade, right? And because I every day preach about holding, 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 that's why the traders held, and they got a really, really, really nice trades on that Snow today. Beautiful move. So you see, Cleanscape was done for the entire week on Snow. Omega was done for the day on Snow. So such a beautiful trade. And it's not even that you had to buy it right out of the gate. You could wait when Snow was giving you the EMA trend move, right? This was the trend move. You wait the first candle. You don't have to buy the bottom. You wait for the trend move squeeze. And that's exactly where I told the traders to long with the stops at 226, breakout pre-market highs. This is, guys, your week changing, month changing trade. You cannot size crazy, but even if you trade a lot of options, shares, whatever you do, was a beautiful trade. We'll be watching Snow for the day 2 tomorrow. Would be definitely interesting and fun to trade. Let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to talk about is CrowdStrike. Okay, so again, you know, these are famous names, these are cult names, these are the top stocks. CrowdStrike is the top leader of the cybersecurity sector. That's so important. That's why other cybersecurity stocks also ran with it. So let's see what was our plan on the CrowdStrike today. Our plan on this CrowdStrike initially 404, 404 was support, 412, 416 was resistance. Our bias was bearish as long as under 410, 412, right? So that was our bias. What happened? It pushed right over the 410. So our bearish bias is gone. So our bearish bias was only if it was under Ripster clouds, but it pushed over the Ripster 512 clouds, and then it also, broke out of that 410 level. That's why I told the traders to long it right away. You can watch the pullbacks, and from the initial long that I gave at 931, we hit 434. 412 entry. This is the more amateur entry. You have to be fast. You'll be ready for this play, and it 434. Now then it gave a pullback. So now there's an important lesson on the pullbacks. When you're watching the pullbacks, you can watch the retracement on the first 10-minute candles. You see that it retraced to 50% Fibonacci, right? So that was another important dip. That's why I said long the pullbacks. I was on the voice. I told the traders you can buy the pullbacks either on the yesterday's lows or yesterday close. They were both same, right? So this was yesterday lows. 419, also 0.61 Fibonacci around that area. It was bouncing from there. This was yesterday's close. We're bouncing this. So this area is where it's bouncing it, and this is where you should add, and your stop should be under yesterday's lows. Because if I go into this candle, if I go into the daily candle, you can see that you long here, your stops are under yesterday lows. Makes sense, right? So that's how you trade those pullbacks, and then you hold it. And when you got the pullback, I told the traders that sell half, keep half, right? And then I gave the stops of 420. Once we bounce here, your stop is 420. 512 bounce, MTF breakout. Then it took all day. Still came out, but remember, it did not break the support right here. That support did not break. Might test your patience, but you have to be patient, because if you load the 0 DTEs options, yes, you will panic because they will lose the value. But you have to understand how you have to adapt. You can't just try to change your trade based upon any options you're trading or based upon share size you're trading. You have to trade accordingly. You have to adapt. Not that the trade is not going to adapt for you. You have to adapt according to the price action. So anyways, I told the traders to be patient. You can see the timestamp guidance, and then we pushed all the way to 438, 440, $8 from that bounce of this support. And there was, and I told the traders it's going to squeeze end of the day. It did squeeze end of the day as well. So you see that there were opportunities to long CrowdStrike right at 410, 412. Opportunity to long CrowdStrike on that pullback at the yesterday's lows, and it was a beautiful trade. Pre-market guidance, live pre-market planning, live guidance, no BS, no hindsight. Beautiful trade. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to talk about is PSTG. So what is PSTG? PST is pure storage, So let's take a look here. What was PSTRG doing? Again, PS pure storage. Let's take a look here at the game plan. Focused it as a highlight play. Beats on earnings, beats on every revenues. Usually I also look at I teach it for my growth investors. Look at year-over-year increase on the earnings and revenues. That will help you if you're an investor or trader. So basically, it's a good investing stock, all-time highs. And the plan was to long if 68 holds, break out our pre-market highs, grab and crap under 68. So clear level, clear planning in the pre-market, and also I tweeted the plan to the traders in the morning as well. And there was also being raised by a bunch of the traders. So as soon as I saw the strength, what did I say? I already told my traders, right? PSTG, long if 68 area holds, break out our pre-market highs. And what happens? Right away, it starts to push, towards the pre-market highs. I said it's long, although some traders, they try to slap it when I mention it, but you should already be in it. But if you slap when I mention it, you make sure you watch, because your risk is that area, right? If you long here, your risk is this area, the lows of this clouds. This is your risk, 69. So you have to get in right away. If you don't get away, then your risk is this, the pre-market highs. Then you get in right here. So I told the traders to long. If you missed it, wait for the pullback. And then the first target I gave was 78. It was around 74 for a long time. So you could add there, and then 74 to 78. I gave the target like at the open, 78, right? $4 before. And you just, even if you risk $1,000, you made $4,000 there right away. And then we hit our 78 target. RGV was on top of it all day. He was high, because we teach, we in our community, we are just not trying to spoon feed. Of course, a lot of traders, I tell them, if you're just blindly making money, because yes, I'm guiding you, that's not what I want you to learn. So anyways, the reason it was bullish, because of all the things I already told you, and also there was multiple analysts upgrading it, so that helped as well. So then, and here's RGV going through the setup. Chart has all-time highs, gap up, daily bullish, pre-market volume, clean levels. These are some things we'll cover in tomorrow's webinar. So anyways, I told the traders to roll to the 80 options for the share, keep 20% at 10 a.m. This was right at 10 a.m. And from that 78, we hit 80, right? 80-30. So you made more money, another 34-40% on the options. Even your 20% position, you got $2 per share profit. Even, long from 73, you got $7 per share profit. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Traders really did well on PSTG today. I just explained to you, and this is not the first time. We have done this trade hundreds and hundreds of times. Today, everyone was on PSTG. D-Trade, amazing guidance by D-Trade as well on PSTG. D-Trade was on top of PSTG since morning in the pre-market. So D-Trade, one of senior traders, amazing trader, he was long right at open. And he told the traders as well that it's going to be really, must make sure you follow D-Trades as well. So anyways, the point is, we just killed it, right? We just killed it. No hindsight, no BS, no showing you, hey, I'm alerting this, no PNLs, nothing, right? The reason we are one of the largest trading communities, because of this, the system, the setups we have, nobody has. So anybody who commits to our education, they will find success. And you will not find, in my community, you will not find people showing you PNLs, or I'm showing you PNLs, or I'm showing you Lamborghinis. We don't do that, right? The reason of success is keep your head down, keep working hard, focusing on the education and repeatable systems. Literally showed you this trade step by step. Even if you risk $500, by the end of the day you were up $2,000, and that's what we do. If we're losing $500 fixed R, we make sure we make $1,000 per trade, and that's how you grow your portfolio. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to look at MDB. So let's take a look at MDB. So what was the plan on MDB? Let's take a look. All right, so I talked about MDB yesterday. If I remember correctly, let me show you guys. Yesterday was, anyways, it was a day to set up. Big earnings yesterday. I even gave the long yesterday in the community to the traders, but today this was the plan. You can read the plan. It's long if 296 hold, short under it. Usually my traders already know how to trade the day two setups, but we have started to put in like a little bit more detailed game plan, so the traders, if the new members were coming, they know how to trade it. So if you remember yesterday, I talked about that nothing is too high, right? So this was MDB yesterday. So what was MDB doing yesterday? MDB was a gap and go. No short there yesterday. I recapped and told the traders to use 280 stops. It ran all day. So that's fine. Because it you know, if you look at the daily chart and a noob trader thinks it's too high, that's it, right? And who's gonna buy here? Well, we're gonna buy here. Why? Because there's a few things to note. 300 psychological level, day 2, good earnings, right? Bouncing of the 3450 clouds, held the 296 level, the level we told the traders to long it. Levels we told the traders to long it. So as soon as I see that, I tell my traders to day 2 long, check the game plan. Good. 310 was my first target. We hit the 310 target by 10 a.m. Then we moved the stops at 304. Then we had our flag breakout. I told the traders about this flag breakout, and then we moved the stops to 308. And then we continue to push to 320. Then we hit 321. The people who held these, you know, all the flag breakouts, step by step, ladder steps, they literally made $18 per share profit on MDB, you know. And the options went, let's look at 315 Lottos, because a Lotto today, the options today was, they went from, let's take a look here. Yeah, they went from like 500%, right? So that's kind of the trade you want to do, right? If you're trading the shares, you're trading 100 shares, you're risking $200, but you're making $1,500. So that's how you do it. Timestamp guidance, step by step, target, stops, and pre-market planning and guidance to show you how it's done. We do it every day. I show it every day. Beautiful trade. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to discuss is Bill. Let's look at Bill. Another one. So one thing I've been talking to the traders that software was strong, right? So what did I say? Software is strong. Software stocks are strong. I even tweeted about it a few times. You need to understand that when MDB is doing good earnings, when Snow is doing good earnings, the whole sector, you know, I shared this list of software names, SaaS, the cloud names. The whole list of those stocks are, you know, they're gonna go, they're gonna do good. So that's why, you know, we need to focus on the whole sector. So Bill, another software name. Let's take a look. I know it. I know the history of Bill. So Bill, I made it highlighted as a red. Bullish bias to long, 50-55 MTF for long, 43 stops, supports, 45-50 resistance. And as soon as I see the strength, I told the traders to long Bill, use the 512 stops. You long at 45s. Here, your stops are right under 44, for 50-cent risk. And from that 50-cent risk, it ran $4, right? So you risk 500 and you actually made $4,000. You can see the timestamp guidance, you know, high of the day breakout. I told the traders to take some of it close to 11 a.m. when we were hitting 47 from that 45s, and we moved the stops to 48. I told the traders to hold as long as it holds, and it held the clouds all day long. All day long. That's why we are cloud riders who obey the cloud rules. Yes, sometimes we will not get all day runners. Then what? We will probably break stop, break even. That's fine. But because we are building good habits to hold all day long, we are going to have some crazy days like today where we're going to done for the weeks and months, right? So that's why stress, do not cut, do not cut, do not cut. So beautiful trade on Bill. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to look at is TCOM. Let's take a look at TCOM. So what was TCOM doing? Let's go here. All right, so TCOM. Okay, so TCOM, it's a trip.com. TCOM, also one of my highlighted red plays. Gap and crap watch. Remember, we had a bearish bias, short as long as it's under pre-market highs. But when I saw that it's so much strength, that's when I turned bullish. This candle, I told the traders it will push higher. It has triggered the long over pre-market highs. You long at 71, your risk is $1, 1,000 shares, $1,000 risk. By the end of the day, you have made $4,000, right? So long right at the open, 944s, even if a little bit there, stops right under this area, resistance becomes a support, and the first target was 74. We hit our 74 target, then second target was 75. We hit our 75 target as well. Nothing too much to discuss about it. Beautiful daily chart, high watch for day 2. Let's go to the next one. So there was some of other plays as well. BBY, there was short setups as well. right? So what was BBY? BBY was Best Buy. Best Buy, we had a bullish bias, but once it breaks 75, 50, 78, it became a short, MTF short. You take a short right here. I saw it a little bit late because today was a day to be bullish, but even after that, I told the trader it's still heavy, still heavy. It faded from 74 all the way to 74.45. Right, so there were some other shorts in the community as well. Dick's Sporting Good was a beautiful short, could not push over the MTF clouds. You know, bearish bias traders, MTF magnet, MTF to MTF to MTF, DKS. You know, I told the trader it's still a short when it was breaking down at 10.21. From that level, it went on to flush to $211 from 219. So there was definitely some short setups which you could use the Ripster clouds and MTF clouds to trade, right? It's just a high probability system, right? We don't do the gut feeling trades. So similar short setup was OLLI. It was faded all day, all day, all day. MTF clouds, MTF clouds, MTF cloud setups. So that was a bearish setup. If we look at here on our charts here, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Yeah, OLLI. ATH highs, bullish bias to long if 136 holds. But as you see, 136 did not hold. It never pushed over 136 and became a short. So just some examples to see that where were we long, and you can see that I focused on the longs today because market was bullish, and you know, all this software sector was strong. So that's why we focused on the longs. But you could see that there was some of these our short setups as well. All right, so let's talk about NVDA. NVDA was our loser this morning. But I kind of knew this because remember, the media is 4.5 trillion market cap, and it's not easy to move NVIDIA. I did try the amateur move, which was kind of a loser because it just popped and dropped on us. But let's look at the pre-market planning. I said in the pre-market, trade as long as yesterday lows hold, cautious of chops. Even if you see here, I said cautious of chop because I know NVIDIA is a huge float, needs a lot of volume. It can definitely chop around. We had a bullish bias, use 1 hour MTF, and yesterday lows as too long. As soon as started to push, and this is an amateur loser. Remember, amateur. If you waited on the amateur move, you never lost because it was a short after the trend move. This was a short and then it was a chop. But I did tell the traders that do not touch it. Anyways, we were long right at the open versus 181. It pushed to 184.47. It pulled back. We added some there as well. Then it broke 512. We cut it. So within 5 minutes, we were out. Of that, you know, we took a $1.50, $2 loss there, and we were out of the NVIDIA. And remember, amateur loser, right? Then I told the traders that, you know, you can short it versus pre-market highs at 936 when we got out. And then what happened was then it dumped, right? So then it dumped. I told the traders, if you don't want to trade it, there are some better setups than NVIDIA, like I showed you. And 512 fade again. It took the market down. It went from that one MTF to the other MTF magnet. I gave the stops at 180. I was not interested anymore in NVIDIA because this range, $1, $2, I'm not interested. You see chop. Whoever tried to trade it lost money probably because this is not fun. This is not what you want. It's too tight of an action. You want a bigger move. You want a range move like CrowdStrike, MDB. Those are the moves you want, like snow. So anyways, that was the failed long, and you know, some traders scalped short on NVIDIA, but was a loser trade for me. Let's go to the next one. So let's talk about some other trades. CRWV was our day 2 setup. It was working nicely, but it was very choppy. It was not a, it was a 30-minute trade. So I told the traders on CRWV to, you know, to use 30-minute chart. Let's take a look if I can show you here. MTF $102 stops, and but it didn't go anywhere today, right? It just barely traded what? From 101 to 104.5, $4 range. I told the traders to hold the 100 as your swing risk, use that, and day trade risk 102. Was pretty choppy, nothing special there, but definitely on a watch for a swing. Definitely a Friday watch. If we break out over the MTF tomorrow, we might get the move coming on CRWV. Let's go to the next one. Just want to talk about Reddit. Reddit was a day 2. Reddit was one of our top day 2 as well. Let's look at our day 2 list here. Let's take a look on a day 2 list. MDB was good. Reddit was a day 2, 210, 212. Trade versus 221 MTF. Short if it breaks that. But it pushed over that. You see that? It pushed over that. And it was a long all day. MTF longs was a beautiful day 2 long setup. So Tesla was Tesla was, we didn't really touch Tesla initially, but it did give, a lot of traders shorted it when it breaks the MTF cloud. So that's usually a setup to short when we are breaking this Ripster MTF cloud. You can buy the puts, you can make, you're risking $200, you can probably, make $700-800 here. It was a good trade, right? It was a nice range, $48 to $48 range was not bad to trade. All right, so let's wrap it up talking about SPY QQQ. So there was nothing really special on SPY QQQ. We did get like a midday breakout on SPY QQQ. It came, there was nothing in the morning. Morning, it was waste of time. This section was a waste of time, but you got this breakout. This is when you traded, when you got this breakout. It was a midday breakout, and when VIX dumped down as well, that was a SPY QQQ. So I'm not going to cover, talk too much about SPY QQQ, but you can see that when the breakout was, you can watch the other recaps there on that. So anyways, great day. Hopefully you learned a lot today. Make sure you're ready for such days. Make sure you utilize all the concepts I teach you daily. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.